contribute. You need to be okay with what you have created for yourself. And I think that is the most important thing you can take away from a breakup, is to learn who you are before learning who somebody else is. And the best relationships come after the hardest breakups.
That's my best friend.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I look gross. With me, I was gonna name it 1 hour transformation, but then I realized that it's not really gonna be a transformation because I'm not gonna look that different when we're done. We have a topic today. We're gonna be talking about how to get over a breakup. I'm not broken up right now. I mean, like, let's not talk about that. But I have been through a breakup before, but I know that it can take a toll on your self-esteem if you are cheated on, or if you are broken up with for some odd reason. As females or males, it's kind of hard to kind of get over that and figure out like what the problem is. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my tips or my advice for getting over a breakup, steps towards getting over that stage of sadness and insecurity. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button to see more videos from me. Hit the bell icon to see when I post on Mondays and Saturdays. And comment below what your longest relationship was. And let's just get started with this video. I have somewhere to be in an hour. I do have toothpaste on my shirt. And we're just going to ignore it. If you see it, you don't see it. I just want everybody to realize there is somebody out there for you. I'm 17, and I know a lot of people who may watch this video aren't like 30 and just waiting for a husband or a wife. So we have time, and I don't think that that's something that we like realize is how much time that we actually have. Because if somebody breaks up with you when you're like 15, like that's 15 whole years until you're 30, you know? That's a lot of time, and we don't realize that we shouldn't really be stressing heavily over things that are learning experiences. I feel like for every breakup you can gain something from whatever happened, whether it was you cheated and they broke up with you, or if they cheated on you. Like, I feel like every relationship you can learn something from it. It was a good experience or a bad experience. I feel like there's always something that we can take away from like being a part of something like that. So just remember to look on the bright side of things, and just like, instead of dwelling on the like bad parts of the relationship, just think about all the good things that you learned while you were with that person, or things that you're gonna apply to your next relationship. Obviously something wasn't right because you're heartbroken. You don't want to give somebody the power to determine your mood. So unless you are like 100% sure that this is your soulmate and you are just gonna marry this person, and that this is the person you're gonna spend the rest of your life with, you don't want to give them like power over your emotion completely. Because if they were to decide one day that they just want to mess up, then they can totally wreck everything that you have worked so hard to build up, like your self-esteem and your confidence. So you want to like be able to divvy out how much you put into a relationship and how much you feel like is too much to give to a person. Because if you give all of yourself away, then you leave nothing for yourself. You just gave it all away. Now when you get into a breakup, obviously it's hard, you know, because like you're not talking to somebody every day, and a lot of times we get like rebounds and like we go talk to somebody else to like fill that void. But I take breakups as a time of self-reflection. Like, even if you're just talking to somebody and you guys stop talking, I feel like that's a time to like find yourself, like if that's not too deep, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like the times where I'm not talking to anybody, because it's time for me to like learn things about myself, so that like when another person does come along, I won't be trying to depend on them to tell me who I am. I can just take that time to like learn myself and what I like and what I don't like. Because if you go into a relationship not knowing what you want and not knowing who you are, then you will settle for anything, and you will just let that other person just like determine what you feel like is okay. When you're in a breakup, and like the first couple like weeks or months after you break up, I would suggest not going to go look for somebody else immediately, because obviously there is something about yourself that you need to discover before you go looking for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that comes with like breakups is like, obviously you want to like tell your friends and like tell them what happened, but I would stay away from being petty in relationships. Like when you break up with somebody, like going around telling the whole school that they did this and they did that. I don't think, I've seen people do that, you know what I'm saying? Like I've seen like that one person in the school who's like going around telling everybody like how that person did the wrong. But the thing about that is, you look so much more mature when you let it be what it is, if that makes sense. Really, you should be dealing with that stuff like within yourself and not relying on like outsiders to like form an opinion for you on how you feel about a certain situation. Like, I'm not really sure. It might sound weird, but crying, I don't know, people are like, don't cry, but like crying feels good. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're like heartbroken. I like to cry because I feel like letting it out is a lot easier than keeping it in. And 10 minutes of crying while it happened is way easier to me than like several days of me like trying not to break down, you know? Why did I do that? Trying not to break down for months on end is a lot harder to me than just letting that out when I feel like I'm hurt, you know? If I'm hurt about something, I will lay on the floor and cry. But like once I get it out of my system, I'm a baddie again, you know? You know, people like to make you feel like it's like, don't cry, like what do you want? Don't cry, it's not worth it. But like sometimes I need to cry. How hard it is sometimes to like figure out why somebody would do something to you, you know? And it's hard, but sometimes the answer, you don't have an answer, and sometimes there's just not an answer. And sometimes it's the other person's life. Like you might think you know something about a person, but you really don't. And you might think you just know their whole life. Like we've been dating for 3.5 months. Like I know him like the back of my hand, but like what if you don't? And they might have some things going on in their life that you don't know about, and you were just caught in the crossfire. That's why, like I said earlier, you don't want to ruin somebody's whole life because they hurt you. Because at the end of the day, you don't know what they're going through. Even if you think you do, you might not know what they're going through. I am in moments of sadness and despair. I like to turn on my Christian playlist, my Jesus music, even if it's gospel, if it's Christian, if it's Toby Mac, if it's Kirk Franklin, if it's anybody. Like I just like to jam that music because God makes me feel good. God makes me feel secure. And even like those songs where they're talking about like all I need is Jesus, is all you need is Jesus. It makes you feel secure, and it makes you feel like everything's gonna be okay, because I believe that at the end of the day, he's in control of what happens, and everything happens for a reason. You're learning how to handle situations. You're learning how to be better at like managing your emotion, and I believe that that's a good thing. You want to go find a good friend that you know you can trust, a friend that you know that you can pour your emotions out to, and you want to just talk to them, especially if they have like good advice. Like you want to listen to their advice and just kind of vibe. Okay, you have to think about a couple months from now you're gonna be okay, and that's what should keep you going, is the fact that you know that you're gonna be okay soon. Once you get to know yourself, you don't settle for what other people think, how other people think they should treat you. So like when you're breaking up with somebody and there's that period where nobody's talking to you and you don't have anybody, like any man, or like not a bunch of people are talking to you, that's like the best time to discover what you're okay with for yourself and what you're not okay with. And then the next time somebody comes along, you're gonna know for yourself whether or not they're treating you the way you should be treated yourself. And you can kind of apply that to this, because at the end of the day, if everybody were to fall, you need to be okay with who you are as a person and what you have to offer, rather than what everybody else has to, you know, contribute. You need to be okay with what you have created for yourself. Yeah, that's all I have. Obviously I'm not wearing this, I'm gonna go get changed, but I just think that that is all I have to say for today. Know your worth, know yourself, and I love you guys so much. If anybody ever feels the need that they need to talk to somebody about something, my DMs are open, and my Snapchat is in the intro. It's also in the description below. So if anybody needs anybody to talk to, I'm here, and I would love to have a sit down talk with you about anything. I really hope you guys like this video, and I will see you guys on Saturday. I love you so much once again, and bye.